You're live?
Okay.
Okay, Boulder Episode 3. 3 with Alan and
Travis Robinson.
well, we asked the big question. What is your big dream for Boulder City? Live here at the Cup on Nevada Way. And today our guest is Garth Schulz. Science teacher, resident.
What? Science?
No, sorry, I mean math. Sorry, science. Math teacher.
Science teachers have to work too hard.
That's right. But he does, and robotics coach at Boulder City High School.
No.
So, Garth, what is your big dream for Boulder City?
Well, the big thing since we've gotten in the robotics program that we've worked on at the high school anyway is introducing more technology. And I think that's something that in Boulder City we have a good, very unique opportunity here to bring in a lot of technology and to further, help further technology. It's interesting. I first moved here in '77, and I've always found it interesting the people who live here, because you get people retired from all sorts of industries. You get little pocket industries here that, from Fisher Space Pen to was it Ameritire, and all these little companies here that have really unique technologies and little niche markets, and I think Boulder City, I think that's kind of what makes us unique.
Yeah.
And we have a good opportunity to keep going with that. I really like the concept of a drone port and advancing the drone technology and everything, robotic technologies, just anything that we can, any unique little industries here. So.
Well, I heard the real reason that you're the robotics coach is because it gets you into CES for free every year.
Well, I was doing that before. I was going to CES before robotics.
Okay. I was bringing you in.
But,
I remember I was big every year. You called me up and say, Alan, am I going to get in with you on CES?
Yeah.
And I go, okay, Garth.
Yeah, I was going with Alan, and then now you don't go anymore, so I had to find a way to get myself in there. But.
I know. Now you're the CES guy, and I report on you.
So you're doing robotics for the high school? Because I know there was like a small, I want to say there was a small robotics program when I was in high school, but it was just like some 2-3 kids, maybe like Goodfellow and like.
Well, it's still.
Was it rubber bands?
No, the club. The robotics club was actually started by John Richner and Harold Begley at the time.
Okay.
Now we have Bern Harkins is involved, and this is the 10th year of the club. They compete in FIRST robotics, which FIRST means for inspiration
I know for
and
sure
recognition.
I have those 10 years old now.
We have for inspiration and recognition of science and technology. And it's a worldwide robotics competition. So every year, the first Saturday of January, the game is revealed. And we have 6 weeks, which we're just about at the end of our build season, to build a robot to go compete. And it's a fairly small group of students, but during build season, it's a huge time commitment. So we have 9 or 10 students involved, but only 4 or 5, 6 who are there most of the time and really involved. But then I teach an introduction to robotics class at the school. We've had for several years now, and it's grown to have 27 students.
So cool.
But that's not part of science. It's part of math.
Well, now it's part of STEM.
STEM. Oh, STEM.
Yeah, it's STEM.
Okay.
So,
Hey, how are you?
So it opened in the science department when it first opened. When they first started the program, it was kind of under the science department, but there's no money in the science department. There's money in STEM.
Okay.
That's why I was in program.
But
It all makes sense.
Well, the big
You
thing
need a cool name to have money.
Yeah.
And we was like, math? That's not cool.
Math, yeah.
And no,
STEM, which the M in STEM is math. But
oh, right. Well,
yeah, we're still math. But in the It's coding, it's computers, it's mechanical engineering, it's just a variety of things. But there's plenty of math involved. We do trigonometry, we do just a variety of things to calculate distances and lengths, and where, right down to where we need to drill a hole for a lever to work properly on the robot. Just kind of so that we do. There's plenty of math, although some of it's trial and error.
What are you doing on the robot? Are you doing like drones? Flying robots?
No,
flying robots.
I've tried to bring drones into the class before, and I wasn't very successful. But we're trying again.
I got one for points. Can I just? This is probably way off course, but anyway. What if you had just your drone, whatever your drone did, they pick up whatever thing, plates, and throw it in the fireplace, whatever they do, right? They make things, but your drone, for cuteness, had like a flying pet dog. So this dog, so this drone did nothing but was being cute, and made noises. Followed around, followed this drone everywhere, and
I have students like that. I don't need a drone for that.
Yeah. It's just what does it do? It just amuses.
Yeah.
There's already teachers. You don't need teachers.
Yeah, we don't need a drone to be a pet.
Yeah.
No, they actually this year, hopefully fourth quarter, I got some new drones. I saw them at CES this year, and we were able to purchase some through some monies that the school had actually, and.
What's your name again?
Aaliyah,
right?
Aaliyah, something like that. But anyway, these they fly by code.
Yeah.
So we have students who are really interested in coding.
Right.
The problems with the drones we had before this was 4 or 5 years ago. All the drones were really just toys, or they were really expensive, and they just kind of crashed the toys. We tried to fly them in the gym, and they'd put them up in the rafters of the gym, and they just. And they were touchy, they're difficult to fly, and it just didn't go well. So these you actually have to write code for them to fly. You send a little program into them, and they're small, pretty compact little drones.
Right. That's what I was thinking for a pet drone, maybe with a tassel and a wig, sparkly. Something sparkly.
You put a little fur on it,
like
just
a
so you
fur
can pet it.
and Tinkerbell.
Sprinkles glitter as it moves around his drum, glitters his payload.
So we'll see. We'll try these. It's not the big thing that we run into in robotics is everything costs money, and a lot of it's consumable. It's things that you.
Oh yeah.
When we buy.
Like Doritos.
Not like edible. But they're not edible, but consumables, as in they get used.
Another Coke and a Dorito.
Yeah. They things that get used and can't be reused. As in, like in the club, once we cut up a piece of aluminum for something, it's
Is there thought
done.
of going into nuclear energy?
No.
Oh, no. Okay.
No. Well, actually, the class and the club, we had a donation. We were able to buy a 3D printer.
So you're 3D printing the pieces.
Some,
Really?
yeah, we're working on that. The 3D printer's new. We're just learning how to run it. We also this year just got a CNC router, so we're designing things. We have it's free online software you can get and design things, and the router cuts it out.
That's one of the things that at they talk about the library expansion.
Right. They want to do a maker.
A maker space or something like that. And I was like, that's one of the things to talk about, because they did talk about a maker space. How do you feel about having a maker space and
Well, I think it'd be great. I think.
How do you think? How would it function? What's the purpose and what would it do?
Well, ideally there'd be some sort of class, because it's not real difficult to get started, but it takes some, to get good at it. It takes good technology, good computers, lots of power, and lots of practice to get good at it. But some basic class just showing.
Oh, lots of power. That's a good point.
Yeah.
It has to be wired.
Yeah, everything's wired.
How much power are you talking?
Well, everything's 110 volt. I mean, it's not a but you're running computers a lot. When we're running the CNC, you've got a router running, we've got a vacuum running, we've got the CNC running, as well as the computer feeding it.
Well, we have Hoover Dam, and
just kick on another generator, and here we go.
A panel and maybe a small water generator, just upstream a little.
Yeah, but some sort of basic course introducing the ideas.
You would think they would have like like we're backpacking, like your little hydro damp, like your micro damp to charge your.
Right.
Could you see like what
little mini solar?
Or no, like water, like a water mill. They just stick in a stream.
Right.
It's just
well, we don't have water here. We don't have water here now. Yeah, windmill. That's what we need.
Now we're getting kind of
little windmill.
Now we're getting silly. Maybe
solar. I think would be good. But water
would be cool.
A basic course.
The Colorado River model.
Yeah. But a basic course to introduce them to designing, like the 3D printer. We've learned that there's all sorts of files online that you can just go download. You go search. Yeah. We wanted to print a rose for Valentine's Day, and they just typed in 3D printed rose, and they're all .stl files. And I found one and printed it, and it came out amazing. It's very detailed. It's and it looks like a rose, but it's plastic.
So what are you using? Are you using plastic to make the things as a 3D printer? Or like what exactly is the material that they use to create?
To print with? Yeah, it prints out of plastic. Most of it's PLA, which is a big word, polylactic something or other, but I always thought it was PLA because that's the first 3 letters of plastic, but no, it means something. But you can also print out ABS, which is a stronger plastic. You can do impregnated plastics that have. You can get anything from stainless steel. You can have wood, and it's just like a dust impregnated into the plastic. So when it prints, it looks like that. And of a whole variety of things. But
you ready?
Right now we're ready
for the daily special. Almost.
But it takes a while. So like that little rosebud was almost 2 hours.
You come right between this.
But the nice thing is you can turn it on and let it go.
Okay, do the daily. Just to the camera.
It's kind of a.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right now we're live, so this is
you're on right now.
This is more theater than TV. Yeah. Okay. So whatever happens, this is.
Theater of life.
Yeah. This is. It's real. Yeah. You are live. Potentially 3 billion people are looking at you. There's only how many people are looking at us now? None. One. We have one person. We don't know who is it.
It's probably.
But it is on potentially 3 billion are there. So, and we're out into the universe, and maybe they'll bounce back. When we get to 5, it's like, well, everybody who would be watching the show is here. It's our problem.
Yeah. I even said something to my wife, and she was going to watch it, and she said she was going to sleep a while and then get up because we're going out with her family today.
Well, we're not famous yet, but it's out there with all the other great media of the world.
Yes.
We have our spot. Okay. Our spot. And look, and Dave is here. See, look, we have this whole, hey, Dave. Another correspondent. Tanya's here. We got the whole row.
Yeah, that's an even better business model because we're actually making money for the comic.
Here, like this our row.
Yeah.
Here's her. We need two iPhones. Okay.
We'll have overfill to the back.
Okay, now we're ready for the daily. I think now it's time for the daily special.
Oh.
Okay, ready? Okay.
Project.
Boy, tell us your name.
It's a biscuit and gravy, 2 eggs, 3 pieces of bacon, and a side of smiles at the coffee cup.
Hey, daily, Monday daily special. Okay, now for our second question of the day, and this is very important here.
Uh-oh.
Travis?
So, Garth, what is your superpower?
I don't know.
I don't know. Okay, well, we're here to help you.
Yeah.
Because we are kind of superpower development consultants.
Well, probably the one thing I've thought throughout, and I think one thing that helps me as a teacher is I've always kind of fit in with multiple groups. I've been able to get along with a variety of groups. I mean, I was always academic. I was at good grades and everything, and I was able to fit in with that crowd. But I liked cars. I was a gearhead. I had auto shop in school. I was multi-sport letterman, so I was kind of fit in with the jock crowd a little bit.
And still drinks beer.
And
drinks beer. I can
drink beer, but sometimes I'm mistaken for a Mormon. So.
Yeah.
And then you have the Sheldon robotics.
I have the robotics, I have that robotics side. We watched the Super Bowl, but I also went to robotics. So.
Right.
So watch the robot or rules.
Yeah.
Oh, you're commuting vehicles, a motorcycle. You ride a motorcycle.
Yeah, I ride motorcycle.
Motorcycle.
Very
Boulder City.
Yeah. So I feel like, and even with. When I was in high school, I was in a lot of those groups, and I feel as a teacher, I still connect with a lot of those groups. I teach AP Stats or teaching the honors pre-calc or at the college, and can communicate with the kids who are smarter than I am.
Well, pioneering climbing and canyoneering instructor for Troop 7.
That was us.
The first ones, that's why you can be the first and the best, because we're the only.
Yeah, camping and fishing and
best Boy Scout troop in all of Nevada.
Oh yeah,
Southern Nevada, probably even northern.
Oldest.
Well, it was the best one that met at the Elks Lodge anyway.
Right. The charter organization, the oldest bar in Boulder City.
Yep.
The Elks. Thank you, Elks.
Yep. And the oldest troop in the area. So.
Oh, in the state.
In the state, yeah.
It's the oldest continuous troop in the state.
Yeah.
So do you feel like you're getting the full potential out of your superpower? Or do you feel like you're harnessing your superpower to the full potential?
At times.
At times?
Do you want some?
There are times where...
You're still good? Okay.
There are times where there's groups I don't want to communicate with. There's groups I'd rather not deal with.
Show us an example. Okay, like the last time, a superpower. Maybe. When's the last time you used your superpower?
Last time I used my superpower.
Kind of like.
Well, I think it's about every day at school.
Every day at school, yeah.
So making full use of your superpower.
Oh, superpower. Yeah, totally emergent.
But I teach everything from AP Stats to Algebra 1. And so you're dealing with the top kids in the school to the kids who struggle in math and the kids who just don't care. And which is the hardest thing I have dealing with as a teacher is just the lack of desire and drive from some students that just they don't see past tomorrow, let alone their future. And
past Algebra 1.
and they don't, and it doesn't matter. We talk to them. I have students often who are juniors and seniors, and they'll say, "Wow, I wished I'd have worked harder my freshman year to further my opportunities now." Because now they're looking at colleges and they're, they got serious their junior year, and they hurt themselves their freshman year with their GPA and.
Well, one thing I think one of the things you do, I think one of your superpowers, and it's kind of like knowing you from being a Boy Scout leader with and everything. It's like George, my neighbor, he's an astrophysicist, and I asked him that, what is your what was the moment that you decided that you want to be a scientist? What was that? Aha! I want to be a scientist. And he grew up in Switzerland, and they used to have these lunches where this professor, this really eminent physicist in Switzerland, kind of gave this talk about astrophysics or physics. All these people, people. This ordinary people could come. Anybody could come. It wasn't just for academics, but it attracted a lot of people. He was maybe 12 years old. And he said that one of the things that he loved about it, he said there was never a stupid question. You could ask anything, and he would just, because he fed his curiosity. So the main thing is when you could feed somebody's curiosity, then it just happens automatically, and you don't know when that time is or that moment is, like, as you know, it's like you, as a teacher, you may say things to all these over and over, no one gets it, but somebody gets it. One of your teachers, one of your students is just ready for that moment, and they go, you just fed, well, that's what I'm curious about, and connects, and that's just the start, and that's, and they'll always remember you for that moment of,
for that one,
unlocking the gateway, and
seeing the path, and just being like, okay, I can do this. This is possible. I'm just getting stoked on it.
And I think that that's that I think is your superpower, opening the gateways to lifeline. I mean, that's so cool. I mean, it's like you said, you have kids with jerseys all over your classroom, and that's that acknowledgement. I mean, anybody's going to send you a jersey. I mean, I know there's teachers in my life I would never send a jersey to. I probably all of them I would send jerseys to, especially if you're still alive.
And if you're watching.
If you watch, we'll send you a jersey.
And I think that part of it, when you told me you were going to ask this question, one of the things I thought of was just being optimistic. It's like every day is, like you said, is today the day I'm going to reach this kid? Is today the day we're going to figure this out in robotics, or is today the day we're going to,
that must be
just
really
kind of that
solving those problems. I mean, that must be really exciting. Like when you're building something and then, here's the problem, and you solve it. There's all those little mini glories, right?
That's something where you can't give up, and unfortunately we get students who just kind of, they do. So I'm not going to figure this out, and they give up, and you got to say, no, you can figure that out. I mean, even we start the year with the little Lego Mindstorm robots, which are fairly basic. I mean, they're really designed for junior high or even elementary school, but it's an intro to robotics course, and the LabVIEW programming that's done on the Legos we use LabVIEW on the competition robot. Now the Lego program's a more basic version, of course, but it's still a block-style programming, and you control different parameters. You just put a block in and then change parameters to get it to do what you want. And we just give them challenges, and I don't help them with the Legos.
Excuse me, right back.
Yep. I just tell them you have to figure this out. And when they get stuck on a challenge, and it's kind of funny because they'll come to me and say, I can't get it to do this, and I'll just say, well, you have to. And there's, well, can you help me? And they say, no, I don't know how to do it. You guys have to figure it out. And the kind of irony there is, some of it I don't know how to do. I just expect them to learn it, and I just,
look it up on YouTube.
That's it. But we have online curriculum through Carnegie Mellon.
You can do it.
That they work through.
It looks weirder,
in
like there's
various
a magic
videos,
ray that you have to avoid.
And that's part of it. They get that success feeling of figuring it out.
Embrace the light.
And that's one of those things that it was an important lesson for me in life when I was younger. And that's part of being an Eagle Scout. That's part of, if my car broke down and I couldn't afford to get it fixed, I had to figure out how to fix it. And just getting over that fear of failure.
So that kind of brings me to
Hi, Boulder. Yes.
Hi.
You ready for your breaking news?
I'm ready for my breaking news.
Okay, I'll call you.
I'll stand behind you.
Dude, you want to take it?
Yeah, we can switch. Thank you, Garth.
Yep.
Thank you, Garth. No, this is, like we said. Yeah. So we decided that we're more of theater than a television show. So this thing, we're going to pretend that this is part of the script. Enjoy her breakfast. Okay.
Travis,
so
help me.
Okay. Anyway,
good to go.
Okay. Hey, this is breaking news. So we didn't know how to do it because we only have one phone.
Is my hair okay?
You're okay. Okay. So our special correspondent Tanya Beachy has breaking news for us, and we don't even know what the breaking news is.
So I want to share an experience that happened to me yesterday.
Okay. Speak up a little bit.
Can you hear me? And it's very serious. So you know it is illegal to hit and kill anything here in Boulder City, even if it's on accident.
Okay.
So I was coming back on the 95 from...
I think I know exactly, and I know the follow-up. Oh my god, this is crazy. Go ahead.
Okay. Wow, you know about this thing? It's in the air.
I know about it.
You just ruined it, Travis.
No, go ahead.
Okay, sorry.
No, I can't now. You want to finish it?
We're
No,
live.
go. I'm sorry.
I can't now.
That was great.
Perfect.
No.
Travis is ruining it.
We don't know.
Okay, I'll continue. Okay. All right.
I'm sorry.
All right. So, coming back from gambling late last night on the 95, Travis, don't look at me. You're gonna make me laugh. It's not funny. I can't help it.
Okay.
It's not funny. It's very serious.
Okay.
It's sad.
Serious.
It is sad. I'm gonna look at Alan.
Don't look at me. I'm sorry.
So, I had Mom with me.
Okay.
There's Mom.
Yeah.
And come around the corner to come up the 95 hill,
Where are you coming from?
to Hoover Dam Lodge.
Hoover Dam,
We
okay.
were gambling late at night.
Okay, Hoover Dam Lodge. Okay, yep.
Boom, 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 boom.
Okay.
Hit something.
Okay.
What was it?
All right.
I thought it was a sheep.
Was it a coyote?
No, it was a pig.
Okay.
Pig.
A pig in Boulder City.
Uh,
Okay? AT&T, absolutely no cell phone service. Cannot call for help. There's nobody on the road. It's dark.
A pig in Boulder.
How do you know it's a pig?
I got out of the car.
Oh,
There's
it's
a pig.
Is it alive?
What?
No, it was dead.
It was dead?
It was dead.
It's a
So,
big pig?
Mom's crying. I'm in a panic. It's a good-sized pig.
It's like a... That's a small pig, though. Wait, pig's good.
It's a small pig.
I mean, for a pig.
But who has a pig in Boulder
I
City?
don't know. Is it a pig?
That's what
I thought it was a
pet
sheep.
pig?
I don't know who. I don't know if it was a pet pig. So I gotta look at Alan. Travis is making.
the pig.
That's nice. So I figure I don't live too far, so I am gonna move the pig to the side of the road, and as soon as I either get a signal or I get home, I will call. So that way in the morning, there's little kids going by, nobody's gonna keep running
Right.
over the pig. So I drag this pig
This is the beginning of an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
to the side of the road. Where did the pig come from?
Well, this is where you're dragging bodies across. It's Alfred Hitchcock.
Right. Get them all the way. So go up the long way to come home off of Avenue I, right by your house.
Oh, yeah.
Pulling in, getting ready to call now Nevada Highway Patrol, and there's 2 state troopers at my house.
Oh, yeah?
And they're, are you Tanya Beast? And I get out and I said, I was just getting ready to call you guys. Have you been driving this car this whole time? I said, yes, I have. Can I see your ID? Here you go. I said, but I was just getting ready to call you guys, and they start putting me under arrest. And I said, what am I being arrested for? They said, well, did you hit and killed a pig back there? And I said, but I was just getting ready to call you and tell you about it and report it. Why am I being put under arrest? And furthermore, how do you know that I was the one that hit and killed this pig? And the cop said, because the pig squealed. You take this off. Did you know? Oh, I thought you knew because you're like, I know where this is going.
So, one of Seiji's buddies the other day coming back from, I think it was like past from Boulder and back to...
This is great. That's the show. I love it.
Coyote.
That's the greatest show on earth.
And I thought you were going to...